It's time for the Super 16 presented by New Amsterdam Vodka. We bring in our friend, Mr. Dan Rosen from NHL.com. And Dan, let's get right to it. Let's get to that first part of your list, 16 down to 9.
Yeah, there you go, 16 through 9. So I got the Nashville Predators there at 16, 3-0-1, and then they lose to Florida. So they're at 16. I got
Should be
15
higher.
Dallas
Should be
Stars.
higher. But
Oh, is it my turn to talk or is it your turn to talk?
Never your turn. Never your turn, Rosen.
I got the Stars there. Jason Robertson obviously been great. By the way, as soon as I get off of here, I will be talking with Jason Robertson for a feature on NHL.com.
Excellent.
That'll be coming up. Winnipeg Jets. Let's talk a little bit about them, EJ. I have told you before, they mystify me. I can't quite figure them out. 4-game losing streak now. They don't have Nick Ehlers, and that's a problem. Yet they can have a strong finish here. They play Edmonton tonight. Montreal, Ottawa, Calgary, Ottawa, Vancouver, Toronto. They can have a strong finish here. So I know they have a losing streak going here, but they can score and they have great goaltending. So I still believe that they have mystified me.
Bruce doesn't agree with you either on that one. He thinks they should be lower, but let's go on. How about the Rangers? How about the Rangers?
Let's talk about the Rangers. How about that? You know what? David Quinn brought this up the other night. It's not easy, even when you're playing the Devils and the Sabres, it's not easy to go 6-0, and they did. And I think they deserve a lot of credit for that because in the parity of the NHL, you're going to see this happen where they're going to lose 1 or 2 games. But they didn't. They're right in the mix. They stay in. And people talk about how they're chasing Boston. I think they're chasing the Islanders. And they play 2 against the Islanders Thursday, Saturday. They're only 5 back of the Islanders, who, by the way, you see them there at 11. They've lost 3 in a row, winless in 3. The Rangers can really chase and catch the Islanders ahead of the Bruins, who I like a lot more than the Islanders right now. Sandwiched in between, you got the Edmonton Oilers, who just continue to play well. In their final 8, they play Calgary, Vancouver, and Montreal. But they're only 10-9-1 against those teams. Toronto in there, Freddie's back practicing, a good sign. And the Pittsburgh Penguins, more wins and points than any other team since March 6th.
All right, let's get right to the top 8 then. And as we take a look at this list, Dan, I want to ask you your thoughts on the Minnesota Wild. You have them at 5, and, I can't really argue. They've been playing very well right now, and they're in an interesting spot because if they were to win tonight and the Avalanche lose, they could skip ahead of the Avalanche. Of course, there's a game in hand circumstance there as well. But give me your thoughts on the Minnesota Wild and how they're playing right now.
You know what? There's been a conversation that I mentioned as I'm talking about Robertson with Dallas and, that conversation, the Calder debate now. To me, Kirill Kaprizov has changed the Minnesota Wild, the look of them, how they play. Bruce can probably attest to this too. Just the entire makeup of that team changes with one player. I mean, it helps with Zuccarello and whatnot too, but the difference that I see from the Wild now is they just have more jump, more offense. All of those things that Bruce would probably have loved to have when he was coaching there. And they have it in Kaprizov. It's why I really believe in this team. I think it's paramount for whoever wins the division. You're going to want to win the division because the drop-off from the Minnesota Wild to, say, the Arizona Coyotes or the St. Louis Blues is so big. That 2-3 matchup might be the best 2-3 matchup we see in the playoffs. And one very good team is going to go out in the first round. 7 wins in a row for the Wild. 3 5-game winnings, 3 winning streaks of 5 games or more. It's really just impressive what they've been able to do.
Yeah, it's been a great year for the Wild. They take on the St. Louis Blues tonight. That should be a good game to watch as well. Dan, thanks for your time, buddy. We'll do it again soon.
You got it, Eve.
The Kings have had a long list of greats who don their uniform, but is their next superstar making his debut tonight? Find out after the break.
Super 16 is presented by New Amsterdam Vodka, the official vodka of the NHL.